I'm Officer Arlen Gammon. I've been a police officer here with the city of Bartlett now for 15 years. It is my good pleasure today to give you a virtual tour of this building where I work every single day. So now we're inside the City of Bartlett Justice Complex. This particular building was built in 1997. We moved over here from the west end of town. It was a very small facility, but the town wasn't near the size it is today. And we're actually centrally located in the city now. So we're going to step over here to our Central Records Division. There you'll find where all the police reports go, crash reports. When the citizens want a copy of their reports, they'll go here and get copies of them. Let's go check it out. This is our Central Records office. This is where after the police officers file the report, it kind of goes through the system. They're all stored here in computers and in different file cabinets. Citizens can come if they want a copy of their report or a crash report maybe they were involved in. This is where they come and receive those copies. They're also held here before they get sent to different agencies if different defendants have their case being held in other areas.
All right, guys, here we are at the police administration offices. Let's go inside and see who we can find.
All right, guys, so here we are in the administration offices. We have 3 inspectors here at the police department, and we have an assistant chief, who's Assistant Chief Sones, and Chief Coxs. Let's take a look and see if they're free and can talk to us for a little bit. Guys, here we are in the office of the assistant chief.
Hey, how are you doing? My name is Steve Sones. I'm an Assistant Chief of Police here. I've been with the department since 2001. You see a lot of papers that are sprawled out. There's a whole lot of paperwork and policies and procedures that we're trying to set up. We absolutely appreciate you guys taking a tour of our department, and I encourage you to come out once everything is lifted and tour it in person as well.
All right, here we are at Chief Cox's office. Let's go in and have a talk with him. All right, and here we are in Chief Cox's office, and we'll let him introduce himself and kind of what he does around here.
Good morning. I'm Jeff Cox. I'm the Chief of Police. Welcome to the Bartlett Police Department. I hope you enjoy your virtual tour with Officer Gammon. Every day we're here to make sure that we keep our community safe, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that we give the citizens of Bartlett the best police department we can give them. I hope you all have a good day and enjoy your time.
All right, here we are in the captain's office. Here at the table, they have weekly and sometimes more often discussions. They talk about things that are ever changing in the police department. As you can see on the board, they have a policy up there now. The policies are ever changing, ever evolving as the world around us changes, and they just make sure they give the police officers the best tools available so that we can go out into the community and keep things safe for you guys. All right, here we are at the Investigative Services Division. In here, the detectives process crime scenes, stuff they can't do in the field. They have a laboratory in here. They have some special equipment to see certain things. Also, they have an evidence and property room. When evidence is gathered, it's properly checked, marked, and stored for prosecution in the future. Let's go have a look. All right, welcome inside to the Investigative Service Division. Here we have the secretary, Ms. Sluter, and she handles all the phone calls that come in from suspects, witnesses, defendants, kind of the whole gamut. And she gets them to the property detective who's handling the case. So let's go around and see if we can look at some offices. Okay, so now we're kind of back here in the office area. Here we have a couple of detectives that are actually working on a case right now. So these things kind of go on day to day. The more cases they solve, the more they keep coming in. So it's never a restful job over here in this area. All right, so once detectives make scenes of different crimes and different things that they get called out by patrol, they'll bring items back, whether they're using it for evidence or things to be held up in court. And they're in a controlled environment in here, so they can get fine fingerprints. There's a glue machine they can use for pulling different kind of fingerprints off different objects that you wouldn't normally get that opportunity. There's also drug testing kits, And there's also a bunch of equipment that the detectives need in the field that they can't carry with them at all times, so they can keep it stored in here. They're able to get it as they need it and come make a more complete case. Whoa, you caught me. All right, this is a little break room that they give us here in the police department. We can have some downtime. A lot of times people bring us yummy items to eat and snack on. We have our coffee machine in here where we get our morning juices flowing and just have a good time. And just as you think we do, we eat donuts all the time. A lot of times right in this room right here. All right, hey everybody. Welcome to the squad room. This is where the officers come every morning, every afternoon, every evening for their respective shifts to go over what has happened on the previous shifts or the evening before. And sometimes they give us off days and talk about the things that happened while we weren't here. So anyway, we have lockers that every officer can use to store equipment and things like that. There's mailboxes and stuff in the back room, and it's just where we just go. We kind of get a little bit of fellowship and just talk about some things that happened on previous shifts. All right, the department also provides a weight room area for officers to work out in and get some exercise to help us stay as healthy as we can, especially after eating all those donuts in the break room back there. Come take a look. Here we are at the courtroom. We have two judges that sit on the bench here on Mondays and Wednesdays. Let's go inside and have a look and see what that looks like. The courtroom. As you can see, there's a lot of benches out here in front of it, and this is where the people that would come in be paying tickets, plaintiffs, defendants, whatever the case may be, this is where they would sit. You can see this bench over here to your left is where the officers would sit, where they get to talk about the things that they've done. This podium right here is where the plaintiffs or a victim may come in and say their side of the story, while the bad guy or a suspect or a defendant would stand at this portion. And the desk over here, this is where the attorneys sit. And sometimes the defendants and the victims, they will come and speak with their attorneys right here and get their cases together. Now for criminal matters involving inmates, we have an area back here where they are brought in from this door right here, and they come out and sit down and wait for the judge to call their name, and where they can speak with the judge about whatever they're being accused of. And of course, the big podium behind me, this is where the judge sits on and hears all the litigation that's going on before he makes his decision. And just over my shoulder here, this is where some of the clerks that you met earlier, this is where they sit and they kind of type everything up, get everything in the computer. So when the people leave this area, then they go and speak with the ladies up there at the front. So this is the area where ladies and gentlemen come in for their court appearances. They'll come through here. As you can see, this big box-shaped thing is a metal detector. So they'll place their keys, change, and any kind of metals in the bucket before they come in. And then once they get cleared the metal detector, then they'll come in here to the courtroom for their case to be heard. All right, so after things happen kind of on the patrol side, out on the street, things get converted into paperwork, reports, and then it goes into the court system. In the court system, they have several clerical positions that these guys in here kind of take care of. So let's go inside and see if we can meet someone. All right, you guys have already seen some of the court clerks around here. Now let's go meet the deputy court clerk.
Hi, I'm Jolene. I am the deputy clerk for the city of Bartlett. I've been here 16 years and I've enjoyed every minute of it. What we do in the clerk's office is we take care of all the paperwork that is trickled down from the police department. We take payments for court actions and we take payments for tickets and we help customers. We deal with a lot of public and phone calls. So, thank you.
All right, after the individuals come out of the courtroom, the judges assess some kind of penalty or fine. They come to the desk here, and these ladies take care of them from there. They'll probably turn around and wave and treat you guys really special.
Hey, can I help you?
All right, so here we're at the 24-hour jail entrance. This is the area where people enter for court. It's where people can visit people that are in jail, and it's where also citizens come and file reports or complaints that they may have or concerns they have. All right, here we are at the jail lobby. People can come in, hit the buzzer, speak with the dispatcher, and go from there. All right, here we go. We're getting ready to go behind closed doors, right? This is gonna be the jail area. Not too many people get access to this, and it'll be very limited viewing, so consider yourself special treat. As you can see, no weapons beyond this point. I have removed mine, so let's go inside and take a look. All right, so now we're back here in the jail administration portion of the building. So in this room right here is where the jail officers and dispatchers get to take a few minutes break, eat some dinner, hit their lockers if they need to. Over here on this side is the captain of the jail. This is where he does his administrative work and handle kind of the day-to-day operations from the office. All right, here we are in the laundry room and the dress-out area. So as people stay here, sometimes it's for an extended period of time, so they'll have opportunity to get their clothes washed and where they can remain fresh. It's also when new inmates come into the building, we have an area over here to your right where they get dressed out and changed. Here we are at the dispatch center. Inside you're going to see a lot of computers, telephones, and a bunch of people being very busy. So let's go inside and take a look and see what their job's all about. All right, now we're actually in the dispatch center. You might notice it's a little dark. There's a lot of screens, and so the lower the light, it just kind of helps the officers in here see the screens a little better. Right here, I'm next to the dispatch supervisor, Christina Headley, and I'll let her explain a little bit of her job.
Hi everybody, I'm sitting at our primary console. This is where we're going to dispatch our police department on the different calls that we receive. I work off of 6 computer screens. We've got our radios and our telephones, and we work off of 2 different mapping systems. And over on this side of the room is going to be our fire console. They handle all of our fire department calls. And we've got Dan Bryan sitting over there. Dan, you want to tell them about your fire console?
I'm working the fire console, working fire calls, ambulance calls, 911 calls, and answering phones.
And over on the farther side of the room is going to be our Station C, our NCIC information channel. And that's where we're going to enter any of our stolen vehicles or stolen articles or any missing children, get entered to that computer. And they also answer 911 calls as well as any non-emergency calls. Bye!
Here we are outside the jail facility. This area is actually called a sally port. These doors right here will open when a squad car comes in with somebody they've arrested out on the street. They'll come into this area right here and wait for the dispatchers to close the door and give the officer the okay to bring the guy in. All right, so now we're actually in the intake area, processing area, when an inmate first comes in for being arrested on the street. The officer's already kind of done his work out in the field and patted them down. However, once they come into the facility, the jailers here, they also do the same thing just to double check the officer's work. And the more searches, the more checks, the safer everybody's going to be. Over in this area is where the jailers work. They do some of their paperwork and business work, and a great group of guys and gals. All right, here we are still in the jail processing area. As you can see, the colors of the walls are blue and the doors are brown, kind of a peculiar color scheme. Somebody with a bigger brain than mine said that it worked well for a soothing environment. So you also see this black line with tape on the floor. It's also where somebody suspected of DUI in the field. That's where an officer pulls them over and believes they may be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. The officers do an initial assessment out in the field, and then they come to this controlled environment where everything is the same. It's also being recorded on a camera that you guys can't see above your head. And in this room right over here is where the interview actually takes place, and there's also a breathalyzer machine and where they draw blood and do some various things of that nature. Let's go in and have a look. Hey, I tell you what, let's go have a look at some of these cells back here. All right, guys, here we are. This is going to be cell block B. This particular unit is used to house misdemeanor individuals, so this particular room can hold up to 6 individuals. So, I don't know if you guys have brothers or sisters or have to share a room or get to have your own room. Don't come here, guys. I don't want to see anybody here. We also have the felony portion where everybody gets their own individual room, but that's even worse, so you don't want that either. Anyway, this jail holds about 35 people at any particular time. Now let's go inside and have a look at it. All right, so here we are on the women's side of the facility. This is a felony side, so they're actually locked down behind these doors 23 hours of the day. They get to come out for 1 hour. So while we've seen a lot of cool and fun things around here, let me just encourage you guys to stay on the right track. Be good to one another, listen to positive influence. Although we all come across difficult situations sometimes, always do your best to do what's right.